Peace Collective, we're getting into the weekly message for 3 to 2026. The first card that came out was Nine of Cups. This card to me is letting me know that this is time where you are feasting on your heart's content, okay? This is where you are no longer deciding to play small. And this feels energetically, right? This feels like on subconscious levels. There's different aspects of you that are rising to the forefront and actually believing, dare to believe that your life can get better, that your life will get better. And it's in this merge that's happening within self, right? There's aspects of you that are now seeing how passionate you are about what you ultimately desire to cultivate in this life. And those aspects of self are starting to remove layers of doubt, layers of limiting self beliefs that were projected upon by others. This isn't something that I feel is going to be too in the forefront of everyone's consciousness. I feel like this is more so deeper layers of the subconscious self, the aspect of us that has been wounded, the aspect of us that um, did not believe that a good life was possible. I feel like she or he, right, depending on who's watching this reading, that particular individual is going to now start having faith, trust within themselves that they can accomplish what they desire because you from the human consciousness have had so much faith within yourself, right? Even though it's been difficult and there's been moments where it's been trying, you keep showing up to the occasion of your life, okay? The next you have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles, again, this is a Corinth, a man. As this energy is in your field of not only it being in your field, but also excuse me, also this energy is in your field showing you that you can be business savvy, right? These are connections that are taking place. I feel like this is the divine masculine rising up in the union of like the divine feminine, that the divine masculines coming together, and the man extending the manifestation abilities to the divine feminine. When we look at our souls, right, we have yin and yang. So we have masculine energies and feminine energies within. So the divine masculine at part of self is coming to the forefront at this particular point to actually give the divine feminine the ability to actually manifest her desires and realizing that her dreams can come true. Okay. Again, this is where the energies within are working together. And we have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands, again, it's someone, looking at what still needs to be cleaned up and the world in their hands. And I think that there's still aspects of us, even though there is this merging that's taking place with different aspects of our subconscious self. Okay. I do feel like the Two of Wands to be there is still aspects of us that are going to be looking back. There's still, even though we have the different aspects that we're ultimately dealing with the limiting self beliefs, there's still going to be kind of like a flip floppy energy going back and forth. When you catch your mind doing this, make sure that you keep reorienting your thoughts to the positive, to what you're trying to manifest, what you're trying to see in this earth plane experience for yourself. Okay, so this is just a warning. And as you can control your mind, then we have temperance that came up. So for me, temperance is speaking to the divine, pouring into your cup. This is not necessarily where it's an immediate overflow. This is where your needs are starting to be recognized. You are aligning with those that ultimately can be benefactors, right, to your business. Those that are going to even be encouraging, uplifting you. I feel like this is someone pouring words of wisdom, insights into your particular situation. I feel like this is someone who, can see the bigger picture. Maybe this, could be someone in like in your team giving you messages through dreams, synchronicities that you're no longer experiencing lack, that you're no longer in that timeline. You're orienting yourself to a timeline where your needs are being met, but not from a standpoint either that it's going to be jarring. Because I think that it's not even I think. I remember talking to a beautiful soul sister of mine and talking about having certain feelings of energies around, right? When you've experienced lack so much and now you're stepping into like abundance, right? Prosperity, not having to worry so much. The team, the divine cannot do it in a standpoint where it's too much at once because it will cause somebody to basically be shocked, shell shocked, and it can cause them to close down. And I know that sounds crazy, right? But I'm telling you from my own experiences, if certain things had taken off in a way that I wanted to them to take off, I think there would have been aspects of me that just could not wrap their head around it. Like this is actually actively happening. I'm getting people who are calling. I'm getting people who want these services. It would have been too much when in my life I felt as though I was rejectable. In my life, I felt as though no one seen the value within me. So I needed to see the value within myself, okay, in order for the energy to now be out there and others can be a mirror to the energy. They can be receptive to the energy that I'm extending because they see the value within me. Have you been allowing yourself to see the value within yourself? The next card that came out is Three of Cups. And I feel like you see these women, okay? They are celebrating you. One is in white, one is in red, and one is in yellow. To me, that is speaking to like the crystalline, guardian celebrating with you. Your solar plexus and your root chakra are coming in together. And coming in together is ultimately them celebrating with you because you've made these breakthroughs within self, right? So I feel like there's going to be like celebrations, in the ethers and the astrals with the divine, celebrating the fact that you are now taking these steps to your higher roads. And then the next card that came out, okay, because again, what is manifested in spirit, it has to show itself in the physical. We have the world. The world came out, and to me, this is again where now your energetic imprint, the things that are happening this week, are opening up doors for these alignments to actually take place in the physical. Okay. Now, everyone's time is going to be on divine timing, but this is an energetic, those that I'm tapping into within the collective. This is where now it feels like the way she's in this card, it feels like it's a portal that's taking place, a portal to your new existence, a portal to your new life within this earth plane. Okay. And as you are allowing yourself to move through to the next beginning in your life, your new beginning, the true beginning, the one that you should have had if you had a clean slate and had healthy parents and had, everything that you needed to be nurtured and poured into when you were growing up. This is what we are entering into. What were you able to achieve? What would you have been able, excuse me, what would you have been able to achieve if everything was set up for you to succeed? Okay. And then the next card that we have, and I'm going to cover her up, is the star. Okay. And the reason I'm covering her up is, a little indecency. But the star is speaking to you shining your light. Okay. I'm not speaking to fame and fortune in this particular card, but it's where you're no longer playing small. This is main character energy where you are now coming into the main character of your life. And again, when you are main character, when you are giving that main character energy, that's allowing people to see the light. There's like, oh wow, there really is a brightness within you. They're seeing the light of God, the light of divinity within you because you are allowing the light of God to ultimately shine through you. You are taking care of your vessel. Okay. Um, there is the Two of Cups. To me, this is again a marriage type of energy where you're going to be having proposals, right? You're going to be having I do feel like this is, it could be speaking to marriage within self, right? The divine feminine to divine masculine coming into a balance within. For some, this could be where the person that you are interested in or the person that's interested in you is going to be coming to the forefront even more. And the reason why I'm saying that, it's not just because of the Two of Cups, even though I do see the Two of Cups as a beautiful balancing and harmonious energy of the divine feminine to divine masculine. You have the Lovers here as well, okay? And in the Lovers, to me, this is speaking to a deeper merging, a deeper experience of like your eternal flame. Okay. I feel like they are tired of hiding in the shadows, so to speak. They are tired of, being unseen. This is coming to the forefront of like the union, right? Having a more active role. And I feel like this is something that's going to be giving bliss. This is going to be giving hope. This is going to be giving new beginnings in communication. And I'm not saying that this person is going to come to the forefront and communicate this week, all right? But I do feel like this is someone's in your energetic field and they are making their presence known because they are tired of also not being able to fully merge in the way that they want to, where it's a satisfactory relationship for both. There's obviously some things that they've been working through, and I think that this is something that, um, excuse me, I do feel like this is something that has been both the divine feminine and divine masculine working through things individually and privately so they can actively come together in a healthier in a healthier way, but also that there's no hurt. I want to say there's no hurt. They want to be careful with how they move, how they talk, how they present themselves ultimately, because this is not a relationship that they want to keep ultimately repeating the same cycles from karmic relationships, ones that have not been healthy, ones that could have tended to dysfunction. This is ultimately growth. And then the next card we have is Ace of Cups. I do feel like this is divine help. I feel like this is um, divine assistance ultimately coming in where now you're seeing an overflow. You're allowing the actual waters to flow within your life. I do feel like this has a lot of like cosmic divine experiences behind this. So I'm getting third eye upgrades. Also, crown chakra releases. I do feel like this is where more is being cleared out. So now the good energy, the crystalline energies, could be the the thing that's being poured into you. So this could be downloads from spirit. This can be, visions. Even for some clairaudient experiences, this is going to be where you start experiencing new things within your gifts that are in alignment with you coming into the forefront of your life and also aligning with the higher roads, okay? Because your gifts are going to be the things that open up doors for you even more. So, y'all, thank you so much for listening to this message from me in spirit. And if you're curious about the services that I offer, you can go to www.mamarain.org. And of course, it's me and the team. Take care.